Okay, this video is going to go over the basics of using Adobe Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator for making a design, a simple image design to be specific, to be put into the laser engraver and engraved onto the surface of an object or type of material. So to begin with, we're going to use Adobe Photoshop. For this example, I am using rather, Adobe Photoshop 2021. If you have an older version, a lot of these processes are going to be the same, but I'll comment a few times where there are some differences you need to make note of. To begin, we're going to create a new document. And now when we're creating our document, we want to work within a measurement system that is the same as what we're using for our object. So for that, we're going to use inches, which I already have set, but I have many other options from this drop-down menu. I'm also going to be defining the width and the height of my workspace based off the object. So this means I need to measure the thing that I am going to engrave onto. So in my example here is going to be of a travel coffee mug. To remove the paint of the mug to reveal the design, I have roughly a 2.5-inch width workspace by roughly 5 inches of workspace for my travel mug. So as long as it fits within that space, it will be visible and something that can be engraved into the mug. Resolution I'm going to set to 300 pixels per inch using the RGB color mode at 8 bits and using a background content setting of transparent. If you would prefer, you can absolutely choose a white background content. I just prefer to use the transparent option, so that's what I'm going to select for the purposes of this video. Now I've got all my settings in set. To the window here, I'm going to hit Create, and here is my document to work with. So to begin with, I'm going to start setting up a few things. So first thing I want to do is bring in my design. Now for the purposes of this first example, I'm going to show you a very basic design where the bulk of the work is already done for us. So I'm going to go to the File menu and choose Place Embedded, and I'm going to find this Vice Golf logo. You can see a preview of it here. We're going to place it into our work area. And at this point, you could move the design into position somewhere. If we were building on this design, say I wanted the Vice Golf logo up at the top and I wanted to put something below it, I would reposition it. If all I was doing was this one image as my design, it doesn't matter where it gets placed because the positioning will trim everything to the area that's actually an engravable content, so the logo. To finalize the design, I'm going to hit the Accept button up at the top, which is this check mark, and we're going to put this image into the design workspace. And you can see here on the layers palette that I have a little preview of my image labeled as the file name that I placed into the document. So what I'm going to do here is actually right click on this layer and choose rasterize layer, and then right click one more time and choose duplicate layer. And this will allow me to make a copy of this layer that I am working with, and I'm going to label this one as design so that I know that this is my design that I'm working with and this is my original work file with that layer. And I can hide the layer by choosing the visibility option. If I hide the little eyeball, it will hide the layers, so I can hide everything or just keep the design layer visible. Last thing I'm going to do is in my layers menu, I'm going to create a new layer. I'm going to label this one as background. And I'm going to move this layer to the very bottom of my list. So it is the bottom layer and everything on top of it is what I'm working with. And then finally, with that layer, the background one selected, I am going to go to New, Background from Layer, and I'm going to go to Edit, Fill to switch my color to white for that background. Okay, and this layer is now locked, so I can't change it. And if I want to hide it, I can just, again, make it invisible. Now, an important note to make is with the layers listed here, whichever layer is highlighted is the layer you're working on. So I have the background layer locked on purpose so that I can't work from it. The original layer is the Vice Golf layer. It's hidden, and I want to make sure that when I'm doing my work, I am selecting my design layer. So the first thing I want to do to change my image for engraving is I want to remove this registered symbol up at the top. So I'm going to go to my eraser tool, and I don't have an eraser that's big enough to erase all of this design. So what I'm going to do instead is right click on my screen and increase the size of my eraser, ensuring that the hardness setting is at 100% so it removes all of the details, and I can just make my eraser cursor big enough that it's going to cover up the registered logo. Left click on my mouse once, and it erases it from the design. Now the next piece I want to do here is I'm going to tweak my design slightly. And what I'm going to do is get the magic wand tool. I'm going to click on the background around the Vice Golf logo. And I'm going to hold the Shift key on my keyboard and also select the inside loop on the V, the inside of the E, and the inside of the O on golf, so that I have all this checkerboard design portion selected. And then I'm going to go to select at the top and inverse my selection. So now I have the Vice Golf text as my selection. And with that selected, what I want to do is I want to keep the Vice Golf logo at the top here, the fancy stylized font with just this black line tracing the edge of the design. But for the word golf, I want to fill this in as solid colors. So I'm going to take my paint bucket tool, set my colors to black and white, with black being on the top. And if I have it the other way around, it's just these arrows to flip what color is my foreground color. And then go over to the G. I'm going to left click and I fill in that letter as a solid black shape. Same thing for the O, same thing for the L, and finally the same thing for the F. I can then go to select, deselect, or command D on my keyboard, and I will deselect my design. And now I filled in the word golf as a solid black area. And the way that this is going to work in the laser is everything that's black in my design is going to be engraved, and everything that is not black is going to be left alone. So if you imagine that I have a blue travel mug, for example, all this checkerboard area and white area will be the blue paint of the travel mug, and the black line around the stylized vice and the golf wording is going to be engraved away to reveal the metal behind the paint on the travel mug. If I really want to emphasize that more, I can take my magic wand tool and just select the inner white area of the stylized vice, delete that, deselect my selection, and that is exactly what I'm going to see. Is everything there that is black is now going to be the engraved area. Everything that is not is going to be the paint color of the mug. I'm now going to make my background layer visible just to finalize the visual of what this is going to look like. And if I'm happy with my design, I am going to save this. Now here's one of those instances where it's a little bit different depending on which version of Photoshop you have. If you are using the 2021 version as I am, you're going to go down to Export, Export As, and in the window that appears afterwards, you're going to make sure you have JPEG selected and quality set to great, and then you can hit Export. This will ask you to name the file that you're saving. I'm going to name this as Vice Golf, and I have this exported as a JPEG ready to go to the next step. If I was using an older version of Photoshop, I would go File, Save As. When this window pops up, down under Format, I would have options for many other format types, including JPEG. I would choose the JPEG format, name my file, hit Save, and then a secondary window would show up, which would be dealing with the quality, and I would set that to the maximum quality to finalize my export of my file. So now that I've completed this step, we're going to toggle over here to Illustrator, and we're going to do the very same thing. Create a new document. Same thing, we want to work with the units of measurement that we are using for our object, so in this case inches, and we want to define our size as, again, what we are going to be engraving. So the workspace is 2.5 inches by 5 inches, and we can select Create. This creates our document in Illustrator, and then we want to bring in our image. So we're going to go to the File menu, down to Place, and we're going to find that JPEG Vice Golf file that I created from Photoshop. We're going to select Place, and then instead of just clicking or automatically placing the document, we're going to define the space that this logo is going to occupy. So I'm going to go to the top left corner, click and drag my mouse while holding the left mouse key down, and bring this mouse cursor all the way to the bottom right corner, release my mouse, and there is my image placed into the document, filling my workspace for me. And for all intents and purposes, this is now ready for me to save and take over to the laser, because I am just engraving this design. Everything that is, again, black in the design is going to be the engraved surface or removed paint surface on my travel mug. Everything that is white is going to stay the same as its original material state. So I simply go File, Save As. We're saving this as an Illustrator file. So it should have AI at the end for the extension. And same thing, I'm going to give this a name so that I know what it is that I am using in this file. We'll hit save. We're going to make sure it's Illustrator 2020, which is the latest version for backwards compatibility. We'll hit OK. And this is ready to take to the laser for engraving. Now, this example is a very easy design because it was already stylized to be a black and white image. And all I did was removed one element and modified another to make it be the way I wanted it on my engraved surface. Now, a more complex design could involve some more editing. So let's take a look at that. So we'll do the same example. We're going to engrave something onto a travel mug. So 2.5 inches, 5 inches, 300 pixels per inch, RGB, 8-bit color mode, transparent background. Create our document. Now this time I'm going to place an image, but the image I'm going to place is going to have a little bit more design to it in terms of color and some uniqueness that is going to be requiring some extra steps. So same idea, I could place this somewhere on my document as I saw fit, depending if I was adding to it. If it wasn't something I was going to be adding to, placement is irrelevant because the design will be the only engraving area for my travel mug. So again, I'm going to accept my placement. Now, right off the hop, this design is a little off center. It's a little bit shifted over to the left from the right. So I want to make sure that I get this centered so that I can work with it adequately. So I'm going to rasterize this layer. And before I duplicate it and turn it into my design layer, I'm actually going to remove the gray background around the image. And then I'm just going to center this onto my document. And I can do that by scaling it. But beforehand, I want to make sure that it is centered to the middle. So I have my rulers visible, and I'm clicking and dragging my ruler guide from that point and snapping this to 1.25 inches or 1.25, which is half of my 2.5 inches for my workspace. So this is the center line of my document. If you can't see your rulers, go to the View menu and make sure that Rulers has a check mark beside it, or Command R on your keyboard. Now I can go to Edit, Transform, and choose Scale, and I can resize my document. But more importantly, I can also snap it onto that guideline so that the center of my image matches to the center guideline that I've placed. Once I've resized this the way I want, I can hit the check mark again to accept my scaling. And now I've got this centered, I've got it resized the way I want. I'm ready to right click on my layer, duplicate it. We're going to name this one Design. And if I could spell, we would be fantastically set. I'm going to also change my Boba Fett layer. I'm going to add in that background layer. And we're going to move that to the bottom of my list. And just as before, create it as a background layer from that design. And it's already defaulted to white for me, so I'm all set. Now, if you don't like the guideline in your way, as it were, while you're working, you can just choose your top selection tool, go over your guideline, click on it, drag it back to the ruler, and it's gone. Same thing as before, I'm going to hide my background, hide my original layer, select my design layer, and now I'm going to start working away from what I have here to turn it into a black and white image so that I have what I'm going to engrave versus not engrave. Because right now this would engrave the green, the maroon, and this beige color fairly similarly. The maroon and the green would be darker than the beige, but it would all get engraved and we could lose the design in that engraving process. So what I'm going to do is choose my magic wand tool. I'm going to select the green outer layer because that's the outside edge of the design. That's my starting point. That should be engraved. I'm going to hold my shift key and also select the bottom portion of that circle design, the outer edge. And those are going to both become a black fill to be engraved or cut away. I'll hold my shift key and I know that that means then that if I want to have that the area where I have some engravings, some things not engraved, the beige is going to be left alone for now, and the maroon is going to be selected to be filled in as black as well. We're going to get the paint bucket tool, make sure we have black as our foreground color, and we're going to start filling in these areas as black. We can then go back to the magic wand, select the beige areas, And we could fill them in as white, or we could just delete them so that we know that they are not a part of the engraving. And you can see that the design is holding true to its original, but it doesn't have that blending of colors where things could be engraved at different levels and blend together to lose the detail of the design. And that'll make more sense likely when you first see the engraver work on a piece of material. Now the last part of this design is there's a bit of an issue with this white section in the middle for this feather because it extends beyond the top right corner of the circle and the bottom left corner of the circle. In order for us to fix that, we're going to play a little bit of trickery. So we're going to go down to our layer and we're going to duplicate it. I'm going to name this design 2. And all I'm going to do for this design layer is I'm going to select that white part, the feather of my design. I'm going to inverse my selection and I'm going to delete everything else. And the way I know that this has worked is if I hide my design original layer, I see that everything else has been removed but the feather. We'll deselect everything, and now to make this show up, I'm going to go to the layer menu and choose layer style. And I'm going to apply a stroke, which is a tracing around the edge of the design. And in this menu, I can choose the thickness of the line here with the cursor or by setting a number. So I have it set to 15 pixels. I can choose the stroke to be on the outside, the inside, or the center. So you can see how that affects the design. So I'm going to stick with the outside so that I keep the feather true to the style and design of the original. I want the opacity set to 100 and I want my color set to black so that it matches the theme of my dual tone image for engraving. I'll hit OK. And now if I reapply the visibility of my original design, you can see now that my feather now has definition on the top right and bottom left extending from the circle. And I'm going to join that design 2 layer to my design 1 layer by right clicking on design 2 and selecting merge down. And now my design is finalized. You can see it different from my original, but this is going to be more successful for laser engraving. So at this point, it's the same process as the first one. For me, I'm going to go to export, export as, choose JPEG, quality is great, export it, give it a name. And if I was using an older version, again, it would be save as, choose JPEG as your file format, and in that secondary window, select the highest quality possible. Back over to Illustrator, we'll make a new document, same size as before, 2.5 inches wide, 5 inches high, create, file, place, find that JPEG that I just made. There it is, the black and white image, not the color one. I'm going to place it, same process, go to my top left corner, click and drag down to the bottom right corner, release my mouse, and there's my design fit into my document, ready to be saved as an Illustrator file for taking over to the laser engraver to, in my example, engrave onto my travel mug or whatever material surface I was choosing to use. When you are doing your design, please make sure that you are not using the same designs that I have used. Make this your own. Find a design that you want to use, but I would like to see you save all of your work. So that means you should have an Illustrator file to potentially go to the laser engraver. You should have the JPEG file that you brought into the Illustrator design, and even back in Photoshop, you should save your design file as a PSD or Photoshop file so that you have it to go back to should you need to make any changes, or in case you need to alter this design should you want to use it for another media use. So I have this for a travel mug, maybe I need to rescale it so that I could use it for another media like on a tabletop or on a coaster, maybe engraving it onto the back of a phone case or other things like that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is a basic image design using a pre-made dual tone image as well as a color image for use with the laser engraver as part of your tutorial lessons. That is now on you to complete your own design. Pitter patter.